The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The African has risen. The African has risen. We have leaders who are now making us so proud as Africans. And for that matter, we are so excited. This is a very beautiful day, and this is the best time to be alive as an African if actually you know and understand what is happening around you. This is not the olden day of Africa that we used to sit down waiting for other people to be doing anything at all to us, and at the end of the day we still go and be begging them. You know the way we always do the things. Some few days ago, the president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, came out with his executive order. Ever since Trump came into office, it has been one executive order to the other, and Africa is always affected most. From sanctions to whatever, Africa is always at the top. But we have leaders who are fighting back. There were some restrictions on some countries and a total ban on others. And you know, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, we top the list too. But finally, after our all in all, the savior, the protector, General Abdurrahmani Chiani gave a decisive answer. We have our all in all, the savior, the protector, the unifier, the messiah, the king of kings, the most loved, Captain Ibrahim Traore, also responding, hitting hard at Donald Trump. According to Captain Ibrahim Traore, there is a total ban on all U.S. nationals because according to him, we give back to them the way they give to us, and that Africa is no longer in the olden days or the Stone Age era where we sit down and allow other people to think and decide and move and act and do anything at all to the African. That whatever decision they will take concerning us in Africa, it is the same measure we'll give to them. So we are all excited. Everybody is celebrating. There is so much reaction everywhere in Africa.
Important to your knowledge, this government communiqué signed this day, December 30, 2025, and I quote, "The government of Burkina Faso has taken note of the announced decision, December 16, 2025, by the authorities of the United States of America on strengthening entry restrictions on their territory decision, which now includes Burkina Faso among countries subject to total visa restrictions. In application of the principle of reciprocity, the government of Burkina Faso informs national and international opinion. Its decision to apply to a national of the United States of America equivalent visa measures. The government of Burkina Faso remains committed to mutual respect to the sovereign equality of states and the principle of reciprocity in its international relations. Burkina Faso, and remains open to cooperation based on respect for interests with all its partners. The fatherland or the death will overcome us," end of quote. And it is signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Cooperation in Burkina Faso from outside Karamoko, Jean-Marie Traoré, Officer of the Order of the Star.
So we have some other breaking news, and this is good news coming from Burkina Faso. The government of Burkina Faso has decided to do what the United States of America did to them. So the United States of America added Burkina Faso, one of the Sahel states, into their travel ban list. And according to that list that was released just recently, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger were the first country to be totally banned from entering into the United States of America. And just today, the government of Burkina Faso has said that it's going to reciprocate what the United States of America has done. According to the president of Burkina Faso, they said that these are the countries that have cut themselves from the West, and they do not have any laws, even if the United States of America decides to ban them from getting into the United States of America. But just to show the African countries that the African countries can now say no, they have decided even the United States of America citizens will not be allowed to get into Burkina Faso. And this has become the second country in Africa to say no to the United States of America. If you ban us, we also ban you. This is known as the rule of reciprocation. If you decide to ban us, we also ban you. And these two countries in Africa, Mali and Burkina Faso, have become the first countries to ban the United States of America.
Yes, guys, the AES has done it again. Mali and Burkina Faso has now placed a reciprocal visa ban on the US. Yes, if you have never shared any of our video, I want you guys to share this video intensively. Let's dive into why and what is actually happening between the US and these Sahel states. You guys know a couple of weeks ago the US came out and expanded its visa restriction countries for Africa, and that list had partial restrictions and permanent restrictions. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso had permanent restrictions. Which means that whatever happened, they are not going to go to the US anymore. Even DRC Congo and some other countries were also in that list. And now, the AES being what they are, you guys know about the bloc, right? They are always proactive. Immediately, Niger came up and placed a reciprocal visa ban on the US. Mali and Burkina Faso simultaneously have now also placed a reciprocal ban, permanent ban on citizens of the US. This is how it is done. This is what we call diplomacy. This is what we call sovereignty. This is what we call self-respect. Yes, respect for a nation. And the moment a nation projects themselves like, okay, they can't do without this, or they are more autonomous in this, you have to know that there's a problem. Yes, and now Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have instituted a visa restriction for the US, a permanent visa restriction, which means that from now on forward, when that publication was made yesterday in the night, so they said from that henceforth, US citizens will not be given a visa to Mali and also Burkina Faso. Yes, this is how it is supposed to be done. You guys remember that the last time the US placed a bounty for Malian citizens entering the country for over 5,000 US dollars. That means you have to prove that you have 5,000 before they can give you a category B1 and B2 visa. And Mali didn't waste time. They went ahead to increase the amount to $15,000 and said they were increasing the amount. And what happened? The US removed those restrictions. And now it's at the level where a permanent ban has now been placed. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think other African countries should be doing when they face this kind of visa restriction, unjustified visa restrictions from countries, especially the US and other European countries?
But we know that with our all General Abdurrahman Chiani, these things don't shake him, because all that he's bent on doing is to make sure we see a better Niger, a liberated Niger, because under his leadership within these 2 years that he has come into office, we've seen that Niger economy is booming. We've seen that France Orano company is crying, and everything that they are trying to do isn't helping. So maybe they think that if they bring Mohamed Bazoum out of wherever he is, they can have upper hand to make sure they can still use him in order to cause certain things, because maybe being the president of Niger, he knows his ways out. But I don't think that they will ever get it, because there's no amount of pressure that will be mounted on our all in all that will allow him to release Mohamed Bazoum. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Why is France now trying to use other ways? Because we know France to be the so-called whatever of Africa, that they think that they can just use sanctions, they can just invade any nation to have their way. So why is it that they are trying to use these ways? Because all the things that they did best did not work out. So maybe they think that if these 3,000 people should sign and claim that they are activists, they are whatever, you know how they always come out with human rights things when it has to do with the oppressor benefiting. But anything that benefits the African do not have anything called human rights, because under the watch of these activists, we've seen that our resources were taken out of the continent. We were sleeping in darkness, yet France was enjoying light 24/7. And these same people didn't come out to advocate for the African to have total control over the resources to the point that we can even benefit from the energy sector. But anything that has to do with the oppressor, you see these hypocrites coming out claiming that they are fighting for who? Mohamed Bazoum. Under his leadership, we saw the hardship, the poverty, the suffering of the Nigerians. Yet these people were nowhere to be found. They never came out to fight for the Nigerians so that at least the resources that they have on their land will be used to benefit the people. But because it has to do with the oppressor having influence, but this is no longer the Africa that they used to know. As long as these leaders are making sure that we don't progress, anytime we get any of them out of the way, the person must continue to be there forever and ever. Is it not the same France that just imprisoned their ex-president? They said he was the same person who, under the regime of Muammar Gaddafi, deceived Muammar Gaddafi, took some money, and also unalived him. Aside that, they said he did a lot of things in France. So for that matter, they need to keep him somewhere. So why are we also keeping a president who was here doing nothing and making sure that we continue to lose? Because under his leadership, uranium was being sold to France 0.80. Is it not bad? Now we have a leader who is selling the same uranium for 200 euros per a kilo. And now we are seeing development in Niger. Yet these people are saying that we need to release Mohamed Bazoum. For what reason? Mohamed Bazoum is in Africa, and we, the people in Niger, our voices are more than just these 3,000 puppets who are not ready to see the progress of their country and are bent on making sure they continue to suffer even with their generation for other people to enjoy. We will continue to fight to make sure Mohamed Bazoum, where he is, at least he's fine. We are taking good care of him and he is on his soil. So why should he be released? From where and to where? And for what reason should he be released? We need to have answers from these people. He should be released that under his regime, nothing was moving on well in Niger. Or under his regime, Niger was having a lot of uranium, yet they were sleeping. Like, what is the basis of this signatures from these people that they need this man to be released? To go and do what? We are the ones that always make things easier for these people. The way they can manipulate us, we can never go and manipulate them this way. And always they have their way through the African, because the Africans still believe that we are inferior and always we need to act in the interest of these people. But this is a new Africa, and before anybody thinks that they can come out to make some claims in order to favor whatever, they should look at the bigger picture, because millions of us are supporting our all in all. That is the most important thing. So just a handful of you cannot take decision for the millions, and that is what we all should understand. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Niger.